Good morning to you all, and thank you for registering and now joining me for this look at our OAX PRO Intruder Alarm Solutions. My name is Darren Riddell, and I'm one of the regional BDMs here at Hikvision. So I'm going to take you through some of the latest developments and devices that we've introduced to our product range and giving you some use around its features and benefits. So just to run through the agenda of today, you're going to be joining me for the presentation. That will be followed by a live demo with my colleague Matt Rose. Following that, he'll hand back to me for a Mentimeter survey. So I'd ask you to get ready to open up a browser session later on. And following that survey, there's obviously the prize giving. So today we have an OAX PRO kit, we have a solid state drive, and we have the obligatory 3 Hikvision goodie bags. So just before we get started, if you have any questions with regards to our OAX PRO range, then please send an email into answers.uk@hikvision.com. And if you could put in the subject title OAX PRO or OAX PRO Solution in the subject line, and then our product manager and team will be able to pick that up and respond to you accordingly. So now on to the presentation. So as we see it, our intruder alarm package is an ideal fit for a number of types of property. Things like a home, a retail unit, or an office environment, whereby a wireless intruder solution is suitable for providing detection and monitoring. As you can see here, we have flood detection, video verification, intruder devices, fire detection, and also connection to third-party systems via relays for maybe some home automation. So I'm going to show you the range of products and devices in a few moments. But first of all, the really key thing to note is that the solution and the devices are all compliant to EN 50131 Grade 2. And we're able to provide guidance on how to install and use our solutions using PD 6662 regulations for alarm confirmation and monitoring at an alarm receiving centre, which we're going to refer to as ARC throughout here. As you can see, there's multiple communication paths for the monitoring. So whether that's via IP or LAN, Wi-Fi, GPRS, 3G and 4G options. So the devices themselves are connected to the system using our Tri-X and Cam-X technology. And that uses dual radio frequency technology to avoid interference. So we've got long ranges of transmission distance. So as you can see here, Tri-X is up to 2,000 meters and the Cam-X is up to 800 meters in absolute ideal solutions. Our panels can actually connect to repeaters to give even further coverage. So the L series panel that has 64 zones allows for 2 additional repeaters, and the larger M series panel with 96 zones allows for 4 repeaters. So here we're showing the possible connection when using multiple Hikvision devices. So maybe the OAX PRO alongside an installed CCTV solution. There's a real benefit of being able to view live images of a camera in a locality should you receive a notification or alarm event. So it's key if you already have an existing installed CCTV security system that you can link this through alarm linkages and present the video information to you. So the newer devices in our range are shown here, but I'm just going to point a few of these out to you. There's a relay module, so you're able to use a wall switch or a relay switch, which I'm going to come on to turn on and off devices. There's a new color view PIR cam, and that's providing color images even in near to no light conditions. Gives you more identifiable information and not just the grey, black and white images when traditional IR is used. So it gives visual verification of an event that triggered the alarm. There's also a PIR with inbuilt break glass. So that's ideal for coverage for window areas, maybe a shop front, and it gives you up to 8 meters detection range. So if you're using either of these two PIR devices, maybe in a home environment, then they do actually come with pet tolerance, and they're configurable for animals up to 30 kilos. So alongside these, there's the new break glass and shock sensor and smoke detectors, and a temperature and humidity detector. And that can be considered for somewhere like a comms room, checking that critical equipment is keeping cool with the air conditioning working. And you can even create methods for turning them on and off remotely. So as you can see, with our external bell box, you're able to provide your own branding, and we can transfer that onto the bell box so you're advertising your business on the outside of the building. So I touched upon the relay switches. There's the wall switch, which is used for high voltage devices, things like air conditioning and heating. So you can automate those or even remotely control. The relay switch is used for lower voltage devices, say a garage door or electric locks. And then you can initiate those from a key fob, the keypad, or even HikConnect. So both of those units, as you can see, have an LED display, and that easily shows the status of the device, so whether it's on or off. So within this slide, we're showing where you can consider deploying the various types of detection to provide coverage. So as I mentioned, there's many control methods for arming and disarming. So as an example, you can approach your home, you can press your key fob, or even use your HikConnect app. You can open up a gate or your garage door and drive straight in, unset your alarm system, and you can even start to switch on devices like heating or even lighting if you have that connected. So the use of the OAX Pro system in conjunction with Hik Pro Connect, and that's the platform used by our installers. So the solution allows you to converge all series of Hikvision products on the one platform. So the key elements of this is you're able to provide proactive services to your end users. Things such as health monitoring of their sites and devices. You can easily manage multiple locations, and you can provide remote support and configuration. All of this with visual verification to alarm-based or triggered events. The HikConnect app is for the end user, and that's for them to control their systems, to view, arm, disarm, and even review notifications of any events. So the app is also used for our CCTV and intercom products. So again, it allows you to converge all of your Hik devices on one platform and view and control where needed. So not only are our panels able to be controlled and notified via an app, but you can also connect them to an ARC. As I mentioned earlier, there's many methods for transmission. So it can be IP through your router and internet service provider, 4G via a SIM card, and with GPRS backup. So how do we do that? We use the SIA DC09 protocol, and that's the current standard language used in presenting alarm information to an operator at an ARC. We can also use specific contact ID, and that gives you individual point identification. An ARC operator is then able to associate their escalation and response to your events being presented to them. So this type of connectivity doesn't, though, provide the video verification to the ARC. We already have connections to Sentinel, and that's one of the widest used monitoring platforms in the industry. We're also able to operate with other monitoring platforms using that same SIA DC09 protocol. So as you can see here, we already have existing partnerships and arrangements with Sentinel and Phoenix, providing remote monitoring facilities. My colleague Matt will show you how simple and easy it is to assign an ARC during a live demo. So how would this all connect to an ARC with video verification? So this is the methodology allowing the alarm and CCTV systems to be shared with an ARC, simply from the Hik Pro Connect application. and you can deploy the devices and assign to the appropriate ARC. So this is the method that does allow for video verification, so integrated with Sentinel. So in summary, the AX Pro Alarm solution allows you to provide wireless intruder alarm coverage quickly and easily, as no cabling is required, making the installation very cost effective. It gives you long ranges of coverage from the panel and also using repeaters. And there's various communication paths to select from to provide that always-on monitoring. It's simple video verification, creating less false alarms against traditional detection methods. So I'm going to be shortly handing over to Matt Rose for the demo part of today. So please remember, if you do have any questions, please email in to answers.uk@hikvision.com and include AX Pro or AX Pro Solution in the subject title, and our product managers will respond to you from there.
Well, thank you very much for that, Darren. My name's Matt Rose. I'm one of the pre-sales engineers here at Hikvision, and today I'm going to run through with you AX Pro. But let's give a quick overview of what I'll be running through with you today. So to start off, we're going to run through the new product that we have on the wall here behind me. Following on from that, we're going to have a look at ProConnect on the PC. I'm going to show you some of the configuration options that are available to us from that platform. Then once we've done that, we'll have a look at ProConnect on mobile device. We'll have a look at what options and programming options are available to us on that platform. And then finally, we're going to finish up with Hikconnect. We're going to set and unset the system, do some activations. We'll try and show some activations through from the PIR cam behind me. So let's start off and let's get going. So let's have a look at the new devices that we have behind me. So starting up on the top left, I've got the temperature and humidity detector, which is currently reporting 22.3 degrees and a humidity of 43 degrees. You may not be able to see it too clearly, and a lot of that's down to the glare that's coming off the lighting that we've got in here. Just over to the right-hand side of that, we've got our external sounder. May look a little bit plain at the moment, but you can actually get this screen printed, as Darren said in his part of the presentation, with your company logo, so it looks more specific to your branding. To the right-hand side of that, we've got our relay module, which we can use to remotely toggle on and off devices. This particular one is the low voltage one. You can use it to control garage doors or automatic blinds or anything that you've got really that requires a low voltage switch. Excuse me. Following on down from that, we've got our PIR cam just underneath, which has got color view technology, which is really good for receiving those pictures in those lower light conditions. You get some really good pictures come through from that. At the bottom here, we've got our repeater panel, which we can use to extend that radio range. So if our devices are connected to the main panel and they're just a little bit on the edge of signal strength, we can use the repeater panel to boost that coverage. So let's have a look at ProConnect on the PC. So there it is up on the screen. I'll just refresh it. So here's the home page that we have here. We're going to be looking at AX Pro Webinar, which is the panel behind me. So I'll click on the panel, and I'll click on the site, and it will take us in here. We can see on that particular site, we've got two devices connected. We have an MVR, and we've also got an AX Pro panel. We're not looking at the MVR today. We'll be looking at the AX Pro here on the right-hand side. But one of the things we can do is we can remotely program that from here, and we can do that by clicking on the remote configuration button. Now, ProConnect is permissions-based, so the end user would have had to have already authorized remote configuration to be completed. That's already been done in this case, so we don't need to redo that here. And there we are, the windows popped up on the screen. So we can see we've got all of our different trees down on the left-hand side, where we can select all of our different programming options. So if we go down to device, we'll have a look here. We've got zone, sounder, keypad, tag reader. All of those options there are available for programming. Area underneath, and we've got the user options on the top. We're not going to go into this in too much detail because we'll be mainly going through ProConnect and HikConnect on iOS. One of the things I do want to show you while we're here is Arc Service and that Arc integration, because it is really easy and straightforward to do. So I'm going to quickly deauthorize the current ARC that we have here, so it's completely blank, and we'll just run through that now. So to start off, we hit Select Arc, and then we'll pick the ARC that we want. So we'll just choose Sentinel because it's at the top there, and then we'll click on the Authorize button. Now what we need to do is we need to decide what panel, what device we want to send this down to. We're going to send it down to OAX PRO Webinar here, which is on the right-hand side. So we'll toggle the button on, we'll receive a pop-up window, click OK, and it sends that authorization request down through to HikConnect. Just quickly authorize that now. There we go. So if I just hit refresh, we should see that the orange writing on the bottom, which says waiting for site authorization, has changed. All right, so if I just go into Arc Service up here, and we can see now that we've got Arc Service enabled. And it is really as quick and easy as that. I know when I used to do commissioning for signaling, it used to take a lot longer than that did. I know, so very, very quick and easy. Right, so let's go over to the mobile. We've got it on the screen. So that's HikConnect at the moment. So let's just have a look at ProConnect, which is over on the left here. So we've got our site overview at the top. Usual sort of stuff down here really. We've got the tutorial center and our notifications down the bottom. We're going to look at site overview. So we'll click on there. That'll take us into our site. We're looking today at AX Pro Webinar. So let's click on the AX Pro. And as you can probably see that a lot of these options look very similar to what we've had on the PC really. You know, we've got our Arc Service, exception and linkage rule there. Let's go in on AX Pro. We'll click on that. We've got area, device and status, the panel on the top. One of the great things we can do with this is we can assign a network camera to the AX Pro, and we can do that by clicking on the cog up on the top right hand side. And this brings up another window, and the third option down is network camera. So we click on network camera, and then if we click on network camera channel, it will bring up the two channels that we are able to allocate a camera into. So let's just click on channel 1. And as you can see, we've got all the options there for populating a camera, standard camera. So that's IP address, protocol type, username, password. And then we've got the linked camera and area that that's connected to, which we can adjust as well. So if we go over device, we've got device for all areas now, and we can toggle this for area 1 or area 2 if we want to by clicking on the All Areas tab. But as we scroll down through, we've got all of our individual devices here. We'll have a quick look at wireless zone 3, which is our door contact. We click on that, and it provides us with all of the information we need from that contact, really. So it ranges from temperature, current battery status, the signal strength, where it's connected to. All of those options are there for us to see and have a look at. Programming this device, quite straightforward as well, because we just click on the cog on the top right hand side, not the notification, and that will take you into the programming options. So we've got all of our programming options down through here that we can easily change as we are logged in through ProConnect for the installer. I click on wireless zone 5, which is our temperature and humidity detector. You can see we've got an extra option here, which is for humidity. And we can use that for, it monitors the humidity in that current area where that is installed. Really, really handy feature there. So I'm going to switch over to HikConnect now. I'll go straight back to the main screen. This is what we would see from the user side. We go down through the bottom. We'll have a look. There's our AX Pro panel here. We've got the set icon to the right hand side of that, which is a house with a man walking away. And then we've got the unset icon immediately to the right hand side of that, which is the house with the unlocked padlock. So I'm just going to click on the panel, That'll take us in a little bit more detail. You can see it looks pretty similar to ProConnect, really. We've got area, device, and status. We've got our two areas. One of the great features of what we can do here, specific to your application, is we can assign a picture to the relevant areas. So, for example, you may have Area 1 as the main house. Area 2 may be a shed or an outbuilding or a garage. Or you may even have it as Area 1 upstairs and Area 2 downstairs. And it can be challenging sometimes to remember what those areas are. So we can assign a picture to make it easier for us to remember. I've already assigned one to Area 1. If I just tap on Area 2, we should be able to assign a picture to Area 2. So it shows background image on the screen. So if I click on background image, we go straight to the photo album. I click on the top photo here, and we'll set that picture nice. There we are in the center. Click on finish. If we go back, we've now assigned two different pictures to our two different areas. We can also view all of our device status as well, in a similar sort of way to how we did in ProConnect. I'll click on the same device that we did before. So we're going on wireless zone 5, which is our temperature and humidity detector. This does look rather similar. If I click on the cog up on the top right-hand side, we've got a lot fewer options now than we did before. That's because all those programming options are gone, because we're logged into Hikvision rather than ProConnect. So if we have a look down the bottom, we've got a relay contact. And this one looks a little bit different to all of the other ones. That's because we have a radio button on the right-hand side. And what we're able to do is we're able to remotely toggle that relay module on and off from the application. So we're going to try that now. So we'll just pop it up on the screen so you can see everything. If I toggle the relay from the application, you should see a little LED on the left-hand side of the relay module come on. And there's the LED come on. It should go off in a second. Now I know what you may be thinking. You might be thinking, well, hang on a second. It's on the application, but it's off on the board. Well, that's because we've programmed the relay module for momentary action. You could program it for latched if you wanted to, but that's all just down to the configuration. So let's just activate that again. LED comes off. I'm going to toggle it off this time. There we go. Right, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to set and unset the system here. We're going to activate it, and then we're going to show some of the notifications that come through. So setting it, quite straightforward. So we click the set button, which is the house with the person walking away. You get a message to say the system's armed. I'll just move about a bit. You should see some lights and some noise. And we do have the sounder turned down. Usually it's a lot louder than that. And there we are, that's disarmed. So we'll have a look on the application now. Right down the bottom, we've got a tab for notification. We'll click on that there. That'll take us through into here. I've got it filtered for OAX Pro Webinar because we've got quite a few devices connected onto this account. I'll just pull it down, go up to the top, and we'll look at the latest activation that's come through. And there's our burglary alarm there. If I click on play, there's a picture of me from the activation. It really is as simple as that. So that concludes the live demonstration. I hope you found it useful. I'd like to take this time to hand back over to Darren, who's going to complete the Mentimeter survey. Thank you.
Thank you for that demonstration, Matt. I'm sure that's given you some ideas around what's possible. Although there were some technical gremlins there, you can be rest assured that the system is arming, disarming, and providing all of those information. So we just need to review the log, and as Matt says, we'll upload that video so you can see exactly what that looks like. So it's not often that we get to present something that's coming soon. So this is something new that will be coming available very shortly. So as you know, our AX Pro is a wireless control panel, but we do now have a single input transmitter coming to our product range soon. So you can take a wired device and connect it into the AX Pro solution. Alongside of that, there's also a new power supply. So if you're not going into mains and using some other form of power, then we do have a power supply module that can be housed within the hub.